What's up, everybody out there, and welcome to the monumentous 425th Dark Avenger comic book review, officially a fourth of the way to 500. This review covers the books that came out. I have to start it this way.
Oh, they came out the week of
December 27th.
Was it December 27th? Thank you. This iPod's messing me up. December 27th, 2017, the last week of December and the year 2017.
Right. So for the beginning of the new year, we're covering the books that came out at the end of the previous year because things were late, but it was the holiday season. I think this always happens around this time of the year anyway for us. So we're doing this review in a combination of the new and the old format. New, it's a live show. Old, it's not on Monday, but hopefully next episode, the following episode for the books that came out this week, the first week of the new year, we will be doing a live show on Monday covering as many books as we can. Now, as we are doing the old-fashioned, the old is we have the physical copies, and I think even when we go all digital, if I have physical books, I don't know if I still might not want to put them in the review, but we still might not. It all really depends. Just, guys, always mark down on your calendar. Like Frontline Live is every Tuesday. We are aiming to make the Dark Avenger comic book review every Monday. And as of this episode, this exact episode, 425, if you missed this live, it's okay. Starting with 425, we are going to make this a religious habit. 8 minutes. Oh, come on, Alan. I said we were going to be late. But anyway, we are going to be making this a habit of putting this review show on comicfrontline.com. So if you missed this show, it will be on Comic Frontline, the website. I'll be sharing it as a post every single week, starting this week, as well as anything else I do on this channel, comic related. I'll be sharing that on Frontline. And also, for those of you that are live, you're going to notice that in the description, we don't list the books. We're making it a surprise for those of you watching live. So you're kind of surprised, but afterwards, for those of you watching this post live, you are seeing this. You're seeing the list on the description, so you'll have the list of all the books we went through as we went through it live. Obviously, we're live, so if we're answering or talking with people in the comments, unfortunately, unlike Twitch, YouTube does not save the comments anymore. So we're reading the comments, so you'll know what we're talking about or who we're answering as we get through it. I hope everybody had a wonderful and safe, happy New Year. Thank you for sharing the link to Comic Frontline's website, Alan. It's that link, or you can just type in comicfrontline.com. We own the what do you call it, the rights to the .com.
Yep.
So how many books do we have this week anyway? There's a lot of books. We have a nice amount of books.
4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, I believe, altogether.
As we are live, number one, hello, Alan, Jesse, Jeremy. What's going on? Just dropping by to say hi. Great to have you here, even if it's for a short time. Jesse, JLS Comics, great to have you guys all here with us. Jesse and Alan were actually here, I believe, 15, 20 minutes before we even went live. Jesse said first, I do not have timestamp, so I can't tell. Tevia's here. What's up, Tevia? Now, one little tiny thing I'd like to ask from everybody who's watching live. Not for you guys post-live. Post-live, feel free to do whatever in the comments because you're only going to be leaving one big comment. But for those of you live, please, when we're talking about a book, whatever book, even if if you're late, it's fine, but we want to keep the review 9:07 p.m. Yeah, Jesse, knowing us, it's a possibility. Just 1 hour early. Just about 1 hour early. Exactly. We might actually do it at 10. Keep an eye on my Twitter. It's either going to be 9 or 10, but I'll always have the live show set up, so you'll have a countdown to when we're doing it. So I'll always set it up. It might be 10 o'clock on Monday night. So just letting you know, Jesse, in advance. It might be 10. But I lost my. But when we're doing it, as far as comments, if we're talking about a specific book, unless it's a book we covered already, for example, if we're covering Superman, don't talk about Batman unless Batman was the book right before it. We want to try to keep the comments and the conversation in the books we've talked about already, or again, we're delayed. So if we put a book down and somebody leaves a comment, like if we're reading Superman, we put it down and go to the next one, but somebody leaves a Superman comment, that's completely fine. Do it, send it, because we are delayed. So that kind of comment's fine, but just don't go over the rail unless we go over the rail. We go over the rail. You guys follow along with us and just let's have some fun. That's the whole point of making these live now. But Shane, don't even start with me. Alan, we will play Fortnite again. You don't want to start this with me, Alan. And I'm Rick. You're Shane. So anyway, we got books. And this week is a mix of digital and physical.
Well,
not too many indie. Yeah, you only have one indie digital this week. Any opinion? See, this is what I mean, Tevye. No opinion on that. Frontline Live. Ask that. Any other live show that I do that involves talking about comics, you can ask about that. I don't. There's no room for that. I mean, if we were talking about Venom, when we're talking about Venom, ask that question again. Let me put it that way. Hold that question for when we talk about Venom. For now, though, I'm just going to save it. So, this week's books, go.
WWE issue number 12. The issue that we have all been waiting for. The Brothers.
Thank you, Jesse. Sorry. Thank you, Jesse. Exactly. But you can save that question for when we talk about Venom. I will say that because it's related. WWE involves the Shield.
The Shield going one-on-one with each other, and this takes place at, I believe it was something rights or bragging rights. So I like the backstory they gave of before they formed the Shield, like they said what they were going to do and how they do things and whatnot. So I like that they had a thing in the past where they were like brothers with each other. But then it just got to that moment right there when it's all of them going against each other. And it's like really something else. And
I agree. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just going to grab a few things off my computer real quick. Keep talking.
But yeah.
Because Mike thinks he only has digital books this week.
Well, you told me one, but whatever. Anyway, so a really great story. I can't remember really the second story because I wasn't really as interested and such. I'm trying to remember the second story. Like I was looking at it, and you know how when you get that feeling like, yeah, it's kind of like those things. It's just one of those stories and whatnot.
Right.
So that's.
And we got Exile State Justin in the comments. What's going on, Justin? So, unlike Michael, I actually had two digital books that I want to talk about this week. First one is Glitter Bomb, the Fame Game, issue number 4. Guys, I know you don't like these little screens. I have good news for you guys. Monday, Michael and I are going to be ordering a tablet. That is a 10-inch tablet that is 10 inches bigger than this, 10 inches bigger than the iPod Touch, and we will have pictures on there, so you'll have a nice big size picture, so we won't have to go all the way up to the screen like this so you guys can see it. So you got that to look forward to as far as an update. But Glitter Bomb, this is the final part to Volume 2. I don't know if we're going to be getting, I'm sorry for the shine. I wish there was something I could do about that, but you're seeing it twice. I enjoyed this. I like the finale to it. I like how, I forgot her name, but I like how she was able to resist the demon, I guess, or the spirit, and not be like the woman in the previous volume. Killed it and kind of like went off and did her own thing, but she's still possibly alive. The spirit's still possibly alive, but I like how she kind of broke away from not wanting the fame. She wasn't, it was like the Adam and Eve thing. She wasn't tempted by it. And then you got Go-Go Power Rangers, issue number 5, still taking place right after Day at the Dumpster. You got Rita's putty. We find out it's a putty because the actual guy is stuck in Rita's palace, but the putty's there, and he's messing with the Power Rangers in their normal life. You got Jason struggling being the leader of the Power Rangers to get them all to kind of act serious. They're like, you guys are, because they're not taking their training seriously. And then Jason finally kind of snaps and says, you know what? If I have to be your leader before your friend, we're teammates now more than we're friends. So this is how it has to be. So I liked how they ended it there, and I like how Rita's kind of manipulating everything behind the scenes, and she's dealing with the fact that now there are Power Rangers that are going to be fighting against her. I enjoy my Go-Go Power Rangers. It's really a fun read. And that is all of our digital books for this week.
All right, so we got physical books this week. Starting with Street Fighter Reloaded, issue number 4, where we left off last time, where Guile finds Charles in his Shadaloo form or something like that. And the word Nash that came in his head of his last name really triggered him. And Bison, of course, was behind all this. So, and then you get Cammy, who fights off against, I can't remember what her name was in this issue, but she's in this along with other characters as well.
Nerdivision, oh my God, that is a person I haven't said hello to in a very long time. What's up? It has been a long time. We're doing good. Hopefully you're doing good as well. Great to have you back in the comments. Man, missed saying his name. It's been a while, man. I saw you did a couple of videos. By the way, I'll talk about the background later. We did change up the background. If you notice, the bottom wall has been changed. Yeah. I forgot that, but Nerdivision reminded me because he was into the figures. But go ahead.
So Sakura, who was looking for Ryu, winds up training with Dan, which is a really big mistake. And it's just Guile and Chung-Li that are trying to find just more information about Charlie with Ken's fiance Lisa that was part of it as well. And there's just like a whole big investigation that's going on. And Ryu seeing Zagat at the end, that could mean a lot of things. And that was to be continued. The next one. And the second story is just Charles with his little bit of Charlie, yeah. With a little bit of his backstory about what he's been doing and throughout his before the whole change happened.
All right, now before Mike goes into the next book, and from now on, I apologize. Anyone who says hello or pops in, I'm going to wait till we're between books. I don't want to interrupt Mike. And it only happens at the beginning anyway. But what's up, Firestorm? He's still waiting for his books because of the snow. I think we're going to be waiting for this week's books for a while. But the good news is we're going all digital starting next episode, so we don't need physical books anymore. We're just going to go all digital. Happy New Year, Nerdivision. I agree with you. Happy New Year. And now everybody's saying hello, so go ahead. So don't be insulted if it takes me time before I say hello. I want to be in between books so I don't interrupt.
I already reviewed this on Frontline, Exo Manowar, issue number 10. This didn't have Arak at all. It just talked about the backstory of a new villain that's probably going to be like one of the rivals of Arak.
Sponsor us.
Yeah.
It'll never happen, but...
Yeah, and he's just like assembling a team. I'm trying to remember what his name was but a life of me, I'm Ron, R-A-W-N, or Ron, however you say it. So his mission is just to find see, it feels like a long time that I've been reading this. Like there's this person who he's trying to find when he goes off on this mission. And the artwork though is really fun. His Ned was who he was looking for. The artwork I just want to show is phenomenal. The artwork alone is just phenomenal. So as he finds him and joins his group, there's a part where they believe that he's dead, but from what Ron's going after, it looks like that he's going after Arak because you see the Exo Manowar suit that Arak wears. So Ron might be making his debut as well as being the new rival of Arak in this issue. So if you're looking for Arak, he's not in the issue. It's just the backstory of that. I don't know what to feel about this book, which I also reviewed for Frontline.
It's a mini. Also, I want you to realize something. It is from this universe, not the main one. So when it's here, it's in that universe. No, you don't.
I've known that since issue 1. Punisher the Platoon, issue number 4 from Marvel Max Comics.
Yes.
And what I really just...
Who writes it?
Who writes it? The writer is...
Garth Ennis.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He does Max stuff.
Right. And what I saw from this issue is that it's just talking about... Like, it just goes into dialogue about, back in the day of his war and how he wants to go back to his family and whatnot. Meanwhile, they're just getting drunk by talking about that. And then you get the Chinese group who has an American kidnapped from the Platoon base that just wants to just torture him and whatnot and just get some information out of him. And that was really something because what happened afterwards. Then again, the fight with these people of the a different type of Marine that he claimed that they left alone. Our work is pretty okay. And it's just that LT, who it was Frank Castle's platoon name, comes in and just settles this and just didn't want anything to do with any fights or any trouble or anything. So sister comes in, tells her about her backstory, and then when the father comes in, he just says that there's a lot of things that he has on his mind that could turn for the worse or something like that. So I don't know what that means, but I don't know. It's just average, and if it was an ongoing series, I probably would have waited another issue or so.
JLS says that he enjoys Enos's writing.
All right, if he enjoys his writing, then I respect your opinion. It's just, I just don't see progression with the story. It's not the character.
I enjoy Garth Ennis's writing also, but again, I'm not a Punisher fan, so for me, regardless who writes,
it's just a different Punisher for me. That's why I feel. I
actually found out that Dan Jurgens is writing a book that I'm not reading. Oh God, which one was it? Dan Jurgens is writing something that I'm not reading right now. I'm trying to remember.
I can't even remember.
He's doing Superman and he's doing something else, and I'm not reading.
Maybe they could tell in the comments.
If you guys remember what book it is, he's writing. Oh my God, it's going to kick me in the butt when I remember finally. Oh, Batman Beyond. He's writing Batman Beyond, and that's my casual read right now. I actually noticed that when I was reading the latest Batman Beyond. And honestly, again, the Batman Beyond universe, because of the changes they made with Future's End, I really can't get into it. So regardless, my favorite writer is writing it. And he's faithful to a lot of the Batman, Superman characters when he writes them. I just can't get into it. So that's just an example of why I agree with what Jesse. Yeah, Tevye just said it too. What Jesse's saying, you know, Garth Ennis is a great writer, but with Punisher, for example, I don't like Punisher. Batman Beyond, I just don't like the changes they made because of Future's End. I like Batman Beyond, the actual story, the premise of it. I don't like the where they went in the world of the Beyond. Anyway, X-Men Blue issue 18. I'm ready to be done with time-hopping X-Men. As a matter of fact, X-Men, for those of you that are wondering about our pull list, since I haven't been doing hauls or I might not be doing hauls, if you're interested in seeing what books we're keeping physically and digitally, since we're doing digital reviews now, feel free to check out my blogger, which is Dark Avenger Corner. It's connected to my channel. You can find it there. I actually made a list of what books we're keeping in our physical pile that we have for 2017 physically, what books we're moving digitally, and what books we're dropping completely. And X-Men actually, looking at the solicits for March, yes, every single X-Men book except for Astonishing Maybe and Red for the first arc, they're all going to be moved to a digital pile. So I'm not really feeling the X-Men jumping through time. I just kind of felt bored reading this story with them hopping all over the place. We don't know why they're there, and they get out so easy. Also, they're able to just jump forward or jump back to their time for some reason. And then now they're in their time again, the past, but now their versions of that time are there as well. So it's exactly like when Beast brought them back through magic. So it's like, we all know that the X-Men are going to end up right back in the present again, that they're not going to go back to the past. So this whole story arc kind of, it's a circle. You know, it started off with them going back to their time, but we all know they're going to end up right back in our time again. So, Now, I always get annoyed when try and do military stuff. This is for you. They usually never get it even close to being right. They're comic writers. I mean, I'd love to see a person who's in that.
They did a story. Well, I don't really recall if they ever did a story about him being in the military or Marine for whatnot. It's just the way that it's explained. It just doesn't like grasp it, because I'm used to his character of who he is, because I know who he turns out to be after his family gets killed.
Right.
But it's just, I don't know. Just that.
And Nerdivision, I agree with you. The only time hopping, he says, the only time hopping I liked was the Old Man Logan. It was actually done properly. I agree. I like how they brought Old Man Logan into the Marvel Universe. The problem is they've been grabbing characters from all over the place that, You know how they used to saturate the market with Deadpool and Wolverine and Spider-Man books? They're now saturating us with different points in time characters. They're bringing Old Man Logan in, the Young X-Men in. I forget who else is popping in. But now the problem with Old Man Logan and why I'm fundamentally dropping the a fundamental reason why I'm dropping the book is our Wolverine's back. And unfortunately, it's connected to the event that's going on. And if any of you out there think I'm buying this event, I said it, and I put my foot down right after Secret Empire. I said, regardless whether Marvel keeps their promise or not, which they didn't, for 11 months, I am not picking, and that's a whole year from when, it's almost a whole year. It's a month short of a year, but that's almost an entire year after Secret Empire. I don't care if they say the old guard was switched, and that promise was made by the old guard where the new guard. I don't care. Promises were made, and the fact that they're doing an event, and not only are they doing an event, but this proves that it wasn't because the old guard left. The new event is planned, ladies and gentlemen, for March. That was when the old guard was still in play. The new guard just took over last month. They planned their books months in advance. They know where 2017 is going to almost end, or 2018 is almost going to end. So don't tell me it was the changing of the guards. Marvel never planned to stick to that promise. They never did. And also, you know, they never planned to stick to that promise because they showed Wolverine right after Secret Empire, directly after Secret Empire and Marvel Legacy, which what Marvel Legacy was what Secret Empire went into. So don't tell me Marvel wasn't planning this before the end of Secret Empire. They were. They lied to us from the moment they said they weren't going to do an event. They lied. They knew they were going to do another event. They just wanted to appease the people like us who were getting pissed off that we were getting an event a year. Guess what, everybody? We're getting an event in 2018, and we're getting it in the very beginning of 2018. So look forward to possibly there being another one towards the end of the year. I don't care. I'll probably end up skimming it, but I will not buy it. I refuse to put money down on a physical copy of this book. If we get a review digital or whatever, fine. I refuse to put money down on this series. I don't care if it's the best event book that has happened in Marvel in 30 years. I'll get the trade. I refuse to buy whatever it's called. It's on the cover. The Countdown to Infinity. Is it Countdown to Infinity? The Countdown to Infinity. Yes, it's on there. It's on their lovely previews magazine for the month of March. I refuse to get it. No way. So Marvel, you lied to everybody. I'm done with your events for at least a year. So I hope you have a good event. I don't even think I'll cover it in principle, for principle purposes. But who knows? I mean, we're obviously going to talk about it on Frontline, so I might have to read it just to be up to date. But I refuse to put money down on another event because we all know where it might go. Unfortunately, I saw it unfortunately, and then everything moved. Unfortunately, X-Men Blue is doing a crossover with Venom. I know I'm getting that Tevye physically, and then both Venom and X-Men Blue are going to go to a digital pull for me. Nerdivision, Time Hop. We did that. I guess I must have missed Tevye's in the middle of all that. Why do we need Old Man Logan? I think Old Man Logan's fine. That no event thing lasted long, didn't it? Yeah, it lasted a whole 5 minutes. Countdown to Infinity and Avengers. Well, Avengers No Surrender is an in-book event, Tevye, so I don't count that. They said there would be no worldwide crossover events, and if you think this isn't going to cross over to other books, and let's not even talk about Damnation, because that's coming in March also, and that's crossing over with Doctor Strange, Scarlet Spider, Iron Fist. We won't even talk about Damnation. That's another little mini event that's going on in a specific corner of the Marvel Universe. But Countdown to Infinity is a universe-changing event or a universe-affecting event. That's what I'm talking about. Put that money towards booster packs and watch your I've been watching your unpacking. I'm glad you enjoy it, Nerdivision. Unfortunately, we did stop. The month of December was super busy. We do have a couple of things I'll talk about it at the end, but we do have a few things for what the card left to open, and then it's going to be touch and go. Our schedule is going to be whenever we have stuff to open. I have to make that announcement video, but we've gone way off the rails. I'll wait. Have booster pack starting at my waiting to be open. Yeah, Jesse actually went into Magic the Gathering. So that's awesome. Invincible Iron Man 595. I'm enjoying it. I like how we find out that the bald person that came out of Stark Works is actually Tony Stark, and he the funny thing is he's having this big illusion that he was found by his mother and MJ, and he was saved, and he's explaining to the mother what went on with him, that for some reason he's had to engineer his body to sustain the suit to continue being Iron Man. And apparently through all that, he was able to save himself. And the reason he's all bald and no eyebrows, no nothing, is because he was kind of reborn. But because he's bald, obviously it's a one-time deal. And I love how he kind of gets upset with the so much for being immortal. So he's kind of admitting he's not immortal, but he found a way to bring himself back from the drastic events of Civil War II. But then we find out, obviously, that he's, right away once you see Rhodey that it's all, and also Wolverine, that it's kind of like one of those fever dreams, and he wakes up and he realizes, oh crap, it was just an illusion. You see that Red Hood is dealing with Dr. Doom, and then we also find out that AI Tony knows exactly where real Tony is. So we're gonna see where Iron Man goes. I'm fairly enjoying Iron Man, but like Captain America, I think I might move it to a digital pile as well, just because I'm enjoying it, but I don't understand where the direction. Now, Bendis is leaving Marvel, right? So after this arc where Tony comes back, obviously we're going to have a new writer on Invincible Iron Man and possibly Tony back. So I'm just going to wait and see where things go with Iron Man. And I might trade. See, I want to trade paperback a lot more than getting solo issues for, because when it comes to single issues, once I put the single issues away, unless I really, really, really want to find a specific single issue, I never really reread a story arc. Trade paperbacks, I read all the time. As you guys, we didn't do our haul yet. We will do a Christmas haul. We are going to do our Christmas haul probably this weekend. I'm hoping this weekend. I'm waiting for something that we had on order for Christmas that we didn't get on time. It's coming next week, actually on Monday, so we might not do the Christmas haul this weekend, but sometime during the middle of the week. But I actually ended up getting, I'll spoil this, I got all the volumes of Nightwing that have been out so far, which is volume 1 through 6. 7 I actually got also for Christmas, but it's on pre-order. It's coming out, I believe, next month in February. So I've been reading Nightwing. I can't get the single issues, but damn, I finally was able to catch up with the trades up to this point. Hopefully they'll continue this time making all the trades until they get to the end of the Nightwing arc. So Scarlet Spider issue number 12. It's grasping straws. I was trying, really trying to like the Scarlet Spider story. I wanted Ben back. We all did. Jay wanted it. I was happy when I heard that they were bringing Ben back, and they were bringing him back in his original costume. Even Kane is in this book. Kane makes appearances in this book as well. Actually, Kane finds out what's going on with Ben, and he actually tries to help Ben out as well. I like that they have. First of all, I like that they didn't forget about Kane, that Kane is still in the book. Kane is still a part of the Scarlet Spider series in some shape, in some form. But, then you get to the part where you find out that Black Marvel really didn't come back to life, that all this time it was Cyber. Cyber has been pulling the Slinger's the Slinger strings. He's been pulling all the strings behind the scenes. It's like, really? Your first arc, second now arc with the Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider series, and you're going to pull Cyber? How many people actually were excited when they saw Cyber is the big villain for Scarlet Spider-Man? I'm sorry. But as far as the Spider-Man books are concerned, they're all going to a digital pile for me as well. And that's just because I'm not really Spider books, man. This book I am still enjoying, and that's the Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows issue number 14. But like the first arc, I'm sorry, I didn't even look at comments. Ultimate Universe isn't coming back, Tevye. Let's just put that to rest now. How did he do it? I don't know. He's Iron Man. That's the answer. I am Iron Man. That's what he would tell you. Tevye is done with Scarlet Spider. Scarlet Spider is going to get canceled. I have no idea who Cyber is. It's weird seeing Cyber without Wolverine, right? Without Wolverine in the story. I was like, why is Cyber here? Why is he here? And another reason why I'm dropping, again, another reason why Scarlet Spider is on my digital pile and why I'm dropping Iron Fist is, and I know the checklist is here because I already, in March, there's a series called Damnation coming out. And as a matter of fact, the checklist is here for February, where it starts in Doctor Strange and Damnation #1, and it goes all the way to April. And guess what books are on this list? Doctor Strange, don't read it. Damnation, the actual miniseries. Scarlet Spider, 1, 2, 3 issues of it. Iron Fist, 1, 2, 3 issues of that. And then they have a one-shot with Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze. It's a 1 of 1. And then the rest of it's all Doctor Strange, like I said. So Doctor Strange, I believe, has like 4. He has 4 issues in that. So, again, and it involves Mephisto. I can't be bothered with, like, Damnation. Why would I want to pick up... First of all, I'd have to pick up Doctor Strange. I don't read Doctor Strange. And why would I want to pick up Damnation? I'll be skipping Damnation. Same here. I'm not getting Damnation, that's for sure. Wait. So, for... I thought you were... No, that's here. So, for the month of March and April, I won't be reviewing Scarlet Spider unless it's a self-contained story, and I'm already dropping Iron Fist. I'm going to finish out this arc of Iron Fist, and then I'm going to put it to my own casual read. I'm enjoying it, but not to the point where I could sit here and talk about it review-wise. Maybe I will, but I'll be dropping it through Damnation at least. Why is Scarlet Spider crossing over with Damnation? Why is Iron Fist, Tevia? Why is Iron Fist? I don't know. It's weird. It's very weird. See, this is why I wanted to do this as a live show now, because I like having this. It's a comic review still, but at the same time, we're having conversations with everyone. Maybe I'll have guests on from time to time. I'm still thinking about doing that. I've been thinking about doing that for 2 years now. I haven't implemented it yet, but I'm very interested in people telling me if they're free on Monday nights, because if they are, I might bring on 1 or 2 guests. I think 2 would be the maximum, or else we would go way beyond an hour-long show. And I do want people post-live to be able to watch this too. So let's continue with Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows 14, like I was saying. Like the first story arc with Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, it's staying in the situation that we started 8 years later with the Spider family fighting the Lizard, except now we're going back in time a little bit, and we're getting a story with Mary Jane where she is seeing this kid getting beaten up, and she ends up saving him. She's kind of like the Spider Mom, and I like how the kids actually make fun of her and call her Spider Mom. And you see it get to the point where she's home, and you see her and her daughter, Annie, getting new clothes for school. You see her trying them on, and then I like how she makes a joke. They got to be good for when I'm using my powers too. And I enjoyed it. Again, though, I feel like this is so close to Spider-Girl. Keep Renew Your Vows. Annie could have stayed 8 and bring back Spider-Girl. I feel like Marvel's trying to make Renew Your Vows a good mix of Spider-Girl and Mary Jane and Spider-Man alive. I will say, awesome to all of you out there that bought Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows and are buying this book more than Amazing Spider-Man, showing Marvel which Spider-Man world we actually enjoy reading. And even with the added child, Marvel was dumb because they added a child to Superman's books and everybody loves Superman. Adding a daughter to the mix with Mary Jane and Peter Parker was, I think, something that solidifies the fact that people now not only want Pete and Mary Jane back together, but they want Marvel to keep the daughter, Annie, as well. Unfortunately, that puts it puts Spider-Girl at a kind of a problem because everybody loves Spider-Girl, Mayday Parker, but at the same time, Mayday could be like that older sister that went away to school or something. So you kind of can, if you want to make it present day, it's going to make it harder, but you could always make Annie Mae the older sister to Mayday Parker in the distant future. So you know what I mean? It still can work. You just have to work around fine-tuning the future, which you can do. And you have to still undo the fact that they killed Peter Parker in Mayday Parker's future as well. But I liked it, and then we get back to the present where the Lizard, we find out, isn't there to fight Spider-Man or cause trouble. He wants help from Spider-Man. So, again, I feel like the world is talking to Marvel. Marvel's just pretending to be dumb and stupid and not realize that the buyers, you see, the buyers are the ones that are supposed to be the talkers, are the ones that show a company what they want. And the fact that this is outselling every single Spider-Man book, especially Amazing Spider-Man, the flagship title for the character, that says that the world wants this, not what Marvel thinks the world or wants the world to want. Nobody's enjoying Amazing Spider-Man, and it's not Dan Slott's writing. It's the fact that it's so, ever since One More Day, it's so different, and it's just, Slott had some good hits. He did, especially with Superior Spider-Man. But again, I feel like when it comes to Renew Your Vows, the fans are telling Marvel through their wallets, through our wallets, because I'm buying it too, that we want this Spider-Man as our main Amazing Spider-Man story, not what we're getting in Amazing. And Dan Slott's stepping down from Amazing. But I just would like to point out to everybody that Dan Slott did write, not this story specifically, but he did write Renew Your Vows, and he did a good job. So it's not Dan Slott's writing of Amazing Spider-Man. It's the fact that we are not happy with the way Amazing Spider-Man is. And that's why I think we lash out at Slott. But Slott has nothing to do with it. It's Marvel's wanting of that to be the Amazing Spider-Man world that's making Amazing Spider-Man shit. And Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows so good. Now, it's the last pump of life in the book before they get cut. An event might give it a few. Yeah, Jesse, I agree. An event like that will give them a few extra sales to justify extra issues. Yes, because I think Jesse's right. Justin didn't say. Jesse, I think you're right. Because Iron Fist, I hear there's rumors that they wanted to cancel it, so they'll keep it around through Damnation at least. And Scarlet Spider, I really hope it's not on the chopping block for them. I really hope that they try to improve it. But if they said that all these books were on the chopping block, I believe it. And that's why they're doing this major crossover to keep the books or try to hold the books. And we'll see if it works, but not for me. I'm not bothering with Damnation. It's going to be a Doctor Strange focal point, and I can't. I just can't. Renew Your Vows, my all-time favorite Spider. I know this is true, Tevye, I know. And then Tevye also says, yeah, true. I'm hoping you can get both daughters. That would be cool if they get both. And then Jesse says, Alonzo is still anti-marriage for some reason. But didn't Axel Alonso step down? Yeah. Tevye said right away, Alonzo is gone. Axel Alonso is the one that left. We want Joe. Oh my God, why did his last name leave me? The head at Marvel. Joe Quesada. Thank you, Joe Quesada. We need Joe Quesada now to step down. He's the last. That's it. Yep. Yeah, he's gone. Quesada is still there. Quesada is the one we need to step down. He's the one that's being the firm foot on the, foot down on, no, we're not remarrying Peter Parker. It's not what everybody wants. It's not what I want. Joe Quesada is a very selfish individual. It's because he doesn't want it that we're not getting it, not because we don't want it. And no matter how much Renew Your Vows sells, he'll say, well, you have Renew Your Vows. Why do you need it in both universes? That would make, we don't need that. I'm sorry, I'm reaching over. I have my answering machine up. And that's what pisses me off is Alonzo, who's one of the two people that didn't want it, is gone. Now Quesada is the big pain in the ass that's not willing to budge. Quesada better learn to budge, or not only are writers going to be in and out, it's going to be a revolving door, Amazing Spider-Man, but Amazing Spider-Man, I mean, it makes amazing sales right now, but I have a feeling, and it could happen, and that's what scares me. If Amazing Spider-Man gets super, super low, there is the risk of it being canceled due to very, very low sales. So I would just like to point that out. That, I mean, it's not like untouchable to be canceled if it gets really bad. I would just like to point that out. I mean, maybe because it's amazing they won't do it, but at some point, logic has to hit. Or Quesada could just step down and let somebody else take over. So you know what? His time in Marvel, Spider-Man wasn't married. So he could say while he was in Marvel, Spider-Man wasn't married. Because, I mean, Quesada needs to realize we don't want Renew Your Vows. We want this as Spider-Man. We want Spider-Man married again. We want it back the way it was. That'd be such a shame. Amazing Spider-Man should be a flagship title. I agree, Jesse. And right now, Renew Your Vows is more of it. And that's just my feeling. I don't hate Quesada, the man, the person. I think I have no gripes with any writer. I have gripes with their decisions. And this decision has been a decision and something that he stand firm on for so long that it pisses me off to the point where I'll call him an idiot. I'll say many things about him. But at the same time, I have nothing personal against Quesada. I just wish he'd wake up and realize that we don't want what he wants. He's one person. We are many. And I like that the other writers are defending him, like Dan Slott has defended Peter Parker not being married on Twitter against several fans. But at the same time, I commend Slott for doing that, for backing up Quesada's, want. But at the same time, at some point when every single fan is saying, why can't you just do it in the main universe? You got to wake up. You got to realize, oh, crap. I may not like it, but everybody else does. It's kind of like Roman Reigns in that comic book where he thought that always the good guy had to win. And then he realized, oh, crap, I have to lose sometimes. Sometimes your decision needs to...
It took John Cena for him to realize that, of all people.
In the comic. In reality, I think the writers...
I'm just saying.
But yeah, I mean, at this point, Quesada, seriously, you got to see that you want it your way. The world wants it a different way. Wake up and stop being selfish, because that's exactly what it is. You being selfish and not wanting to budge and wanting to be firm on this matter of all matters. This is what you want to make sure it never happens again. Come on, man. Seriously. Oh, we got Saif of the New Yorker. Hey, guy, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Minecraft? That has nothing to do with a comic review, my friend. I'm sorry. I will say that I enjoy Minecraft, but I know you weren't here at the beginning. We're sticking to the topic of the comics we're talking about and comic-related stuff. You're welcome to come on any other live show we do when we're doing like a random topic talk and talk about that. But this is a comic review, so we're going to keep this comic-related. But it's a fun game, I will say that. Mike, continue on, because there's nothing more I can say. I'm saying the same thing over and over again.
All right.
Quesada, you need to either step down or wake up and just be a man and say you made a mistake and you're going to fix it. Maybe they are. The solicits say that there's something that that's going to happen after the Green Goblin when Slott leaves. There's something big that's going to happen. Maybe they did realize, and we're going to get a surprise in 2018. God, please, go.
Okay, then. Phoenix Resurrection, issue number 1. So, this is a different writer. This isn't written by Dan Hopeless. It's a different writer. And what this talks about is like, all about Jean's story and how they're trying to control her powers and everything. Basically, all works good.
Which Jean? The young Jean?
This is the young Jean.
Okay, so they're talking about the X-Men Blue Jean. Okay.
Right. So then Beast is trying to say that he had like a new type of reading about this murder, and he just like goes all out about that. And they just want to find out, like what's happening, and they really don't know, but they want to really investigate more to see how this all came about and whatnot. And, we have, the Wolverine, like not the original Wolverine. Like
it looks like it's an illusion, and it's going after the Weapon X group.
Right. So we had a little bit of that was going on, and after all the fight happened, we get like this big, huge fire in the sky, which is the bird of the Phoenix. Right. And then this is where...
This was crazy. I didn't understand this ending. So apparently Jean and Scott are alive?
I guess so. Now, you got to understand, this is before she turned into Phoenix, because when she was Phoenix, that's how she killed Scott in that point. This is in the past? Yes, this is before she turned into the Phoenix. That's why I'm saying young Jean. They're going into the story of the past
to go to the present. Okay.
Right, before she went into the
I thought
Phoenix.
This was the present, and I'm like, what the hell?
No. I said in the beginning, the young Jean, this is the past. That's why Scott was in the store. I'm like, that's why I said, oh, so this is before she turned into Phoenix. This is why she sees the big bird.
And then Jesse said that, put it in the cover first, because I don't want you. Oh, you did.
Well, I was waiting.
And again, no, I would like to point this out. No, I'm glad you did it. I did.
I was waiting because I was waiting for you.
I love this cover. I got this cover because I love the variant. Now, I'm going to zoom in. Look at that. This is Marvel's cover printer. at its best. Look, there's Mike's fingerprint. Anybody wants a fingerprint of Michael? You can buy this book off of us if you'll replace it. That's why I love Marvel's printers, but I don't. That crap always happens on my Marvel books. I just want to point out, since Justin mentioned about that cover, which that is a variant, which I'm not buying another cover just because, and it had to be right on the, anyway. So, but I also did get the, because I was getting the lenticular covers for a time, I got the lenticular version of it, and this is actually a lenticular cover done nice.
Oh, wow, that is.
So I did get the lenticular cover, since Marvel is like into lenticular covers till March, because March there's no lenticular covers. So I got the lenticular cover as well. Now, Nerdivision. Oh, Tevi says Young Jean is dead.
But then explain the part how she met with Scott in the end.
Nerdivision says, I think they did the Phoenix arc too quick before Resurrection. They didn't pace the story right. This is the third or fourth time Marvel revived Phoenix. I know. They keep trying to bring it back. They're just not doing it right. Justin said Phoenix and Scott live, and Professor X is alive, and Astonishing X-Men. So they're all back now. Yeah, they are all back now. Not really. Issue 2 came out. That's right. It's a weekly series, so maybe everybody knows. We're a week behind. We're going to start reading this Wednesday's books. But, yeah. We're going to start reading this Wednesday's books tonight to Monday. Their printer is really bad. Yeah. I want Jenny Fisher variant cover. I'll be honest with you, man.
That's scary.
If I get any variants from now on, we're not going to touch them. Well, obviously we won't have to for the reviews anymore, but I hate Marvel's printers. There are so many things Marvel's doing wrong. Come on, guys. Wake up. 2018. I know, 2018. Get with the program. Get a better cover printer. Marry Spider-Man again. Kick Quesada out of the head if he doesn't want to actually be unselfish. And come on. Do Christopher Walken. Come on. I can't even do his voice, but come on. You know what I mean. Come on. Last one, we're going with Venom Inc. Issue 793. Not Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, as Mike Spiderslayer says. Spider-Man possessed by Lee Price, by Maniac. He goes on a nice little crime spree under Maniac's control. We find out Maniac is trying to kill Flash. I love how they brought Mania back, and they kind of say, well, they took away her symbiote, but she still has the Hell Mark, so she still kind of has power. I like that, and she ends up saving Flash anyway. Venom's back. Black Cat's back. They end up getting more anti-Venom. They end up saving Spider-Man towards the end of the book, but now Lee has, we find out what Lee's move actually was, and it is to become the to be able to control the be-all, end-all leaders in New York. And now we got to see where it's going to go from here. I believe that, I don't know if there's a checklist. Is there a checklist? There is no checklist in the back. Oh, yeah, there is. Let's see. We have Venom, and we have the Alpha book still that's coming, I believe. Yes, you can. Not in the review this week, but since I'm grabbing books left and right here, I did end up buying the second book for Batman Creature of the Night. I haven't started reading it yet, but for those of you that read Creature of the Night, if you'd like to mention anything about it, this is your opportunity, as we are going into DC Comics now.
Better covers.
Now covers that my fingers can glide across. But my worst book of the week, and that is Hawkman Found. I mean, I understand Dark Knights, the whole Metal miniseries is where the DC universe crashes and good does not triumph until the very last issue, more than likely. But man, Hawkman is just pounded down in this issue, and it was so predictable at this point. The plastic.
I thought you were going to.
It was so predictable that Hawkman was not going to escape, because we all read issue number 4 of Metal already, and we know that Hawkman is this big mutant hawk, unless it's saying that he's trapped on the planet. But he got pounded down bad in this issue. I feel bad for him. And then Justin said the people at the Daily Bugle were not afraid, and even called Spider-Man out for being mind controlled. Thought it was extremely weak. Exactly. Everybody knew he was mind controlled, so this was just an issue of him being mind controlled, saved, and now we're going to get back to the story, everybody. I skipped that issue. I stopped getting the one-shots after the Drowned. Oh, you're talking. Oh, okay. Justin was talking about Amazing Spider-Man, Jesse was talking about the one-shots. I think this is the last one-shot. There might be one more. I'm not sure. But I do know that I'm not getting any of the New Universe books. I might read them digitally, but I'm not buying any of them. And I don't remember if I did or did not buy Batman and Signal, but I don't know. I don't know if I could bring myself to read Batman and the Signal. The Signal.
What?
Because that's what they're trying to do. Wait, what about Venomized being announced since it's connected to Venom? How many times are they going to do Venomized covers, dude? Or I don't even know if that's an event or whatever. I haven't heard of it yet. Is it an event or a cover scheme? Because since it connects to Venom, it's an event. I'm reading Venom digitally as of Poison X's end. So whatever Venomized will be, I'll be reading it digitally. I won't be. Man, when Marvel goes back into something, they go back into it hard. It's an actual event. If it's an event that I can see it, the Signal so intimidating, they'll make those villains shaking their evil boots. Exactly.
You sound like a Riddler like that, like the Signal. Like you did like a Riddler there.
I know, but no, Tevia, it's an actual event coming out this year, and it's about the poisons. Nope. The Signal equals the decoy. Exactly, Justin. That's what I think he really was for a long time. And DC's like, we got to make the Signal something. Let's throw him into the metal universe and make him a superhero metal person. Mm-hmm. You see, now I'll rag on Marvel for making stupid decisions. But man, Signal is one of the weakest decisions DC has made. And metal is another weak point for DC.
Yeah.
Venom fatigue, it's a thing now. Jesse, yes. Over fatigue, if you ask me. So, to answer your question, Tevia, 9 out of 10, I'm not going to be reading Venomized because I didn't like the poisons during Venomverse. I'm probably, and this is my foreshadowing, my psychic powers are telling me, I'm probably not going to like the crossover with X-Men Blue, Venom, and the Poisons, Poison X. So if I didn't like the first time, I'm probably not going to like the second time. I'm not buying or even wasting my time reading the event that they put the Poisons in. You want to know what's Poison? Marvel's cover printers. They're Poison. That's Poison. And Joe Quesada is feeding the Poison when it comes to Spider-Man. There's your Poison X. So happy I'm not reading X-Men Blue. Justin, I don't know if you were here when I mentioned I'm dropping all my X-Men books physically except for Red right away. Nightwing, The New Order, the penultimate issue. Superman is alive, and we find out why Nightwing did what he did, took away all the superpowers. Superman was brain-controlled by black kryptonite, and he ended up killing Batman. And that's what made Nightwing take away all the powers, because he felt a world without superpowers would be able, it would be great. I'll tell you something, Nightwing. Why don't you come live in our world? We need superheroes with superpowers. And I like that Nightwing's son, I like that Dick's son said, it was better because the superheroes back before you took away their powers, they had a choice. And they chose to use their powers to protect, to help the world prosper, to help people. And you took that choice away from them. Well, now if I'm the cure, I want to give that choice back to them. And I love how in issues 2 through 4, we thought that Dick was finally waking up and seeing that, oh, wow, I'm an idiot. I should have saved. I should have not done what I've done. Maybe the world needed superheroes. Way back to where he was today. He's like, thank you for saving my son. I'm going to leave with him. I'll give you guys 2 weeks. Get out of here because I'm going to tell the agency that you guys were here. So basically, he's going to tell on his friends who helped him save his son and leave with his son, not fight against or want revenge against the company he started. So I agreed with what the Titans did or what the Resistance did by taking him prisoner. Then we see Superman. We see that there might be a way to give Superman back his powers, which will basically help the world again. And then we find out that somehow Dick is connected to Batwoman. I'll tell you, Dick is a real dick in Nightwing New World Order. And I look forward to seeing how this is all going to end. But I have a feeling Superman's going to get his powers back, and the world is going to be back to normal. Is going to go back to status quo before end of this series. But man, if there was ever a series that could make me hate Dick Grayson, Nightwing, The New World Order did it.
The New Order.
The New Order. Why not
NWO. You've been watching too many WCW on Facebook.
Hey, it's on Facebook, and they keep sharing videos of the NWO. I can't help it.
I didn't say you could or couldn't. I'm just saying I saw it the other day, too.
Jesse says, I'm going to get the New Mutants miniseries.
The what?
I think there's a New Mutants miniseries coming out. I might get that. I might check that out. So you're getting the singles for Nightwing and the trade, or going digital. With Nightwing, the ongoing series right now in Rebirth, I'm getting the single issues. Nightwing, the very first volume, where the first volume of Nightwing, the first whole set of Nightwing books, I'm getting them in trades. So I think I'm actually missing. There were 2 miniseries that Nightwing did. I got to find those trades, but I'm getting the original Nightwing series, Nerdivision, in trade. The current day Nightwing, I'm getting in single issues, and I'm keeping it physical for now. It is a bit boring. I'm going to let this arc pass. I'm going to see how the next arc is. If it kind of follows the same trend, I might start trade paperbacking Rebirth as well, because I might not even trade it. I might just digital it. I don't know. Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps 35. Oh, wait, Tevia. I'm with the Titans on this one. I wonder where John... New World Order, it's a different universe. Maybe it didn't happen. You never know, Tevia. Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, issue number 35, was a cheese book. It really, really was. If you want cheese, then, man, it's in this book. So the Guardians are being harvested and turned into controllers. And, of course, the Guardians that are being harvested right now are Guardians, fill in the blank, because you don't know who the hell they are. You just see Guardians that were locked away having their life sucked out and controllers being made. So you don't really care until they start saying, oh, we're going to take Sayad next. And then you're like, oh, my God, Gantha, Sayad, no, we don't want to see that happen. But then outside, guess what? The 4 Green Lanterns, Hal Jordan, Guy Gardner, John Stewart, and Kyle Rayner. They're there to save the day. And that's what happens throughout most of the middle of the book. They're fighting, and it looks like they're going to lose. They say this weird 4. It takes 4 walls in a house, 4 legs in a table, 4 seats on a Mustang, and basically they're saying it takes 4 Green Lanterns to take down an entire army. Gantha laughs at the fact that the controllers are like, we'll take these guys down, and Gantha's like, you're crazy. I've tried forever to try to control these 4 humans, and I've never been able to, and guess what? Now they're here to save us. Yay! To be continued. This was a cheese book. I'm sorry. I love Ron Vendetti's writing for Green Lantern. I really, really do. But this controllers arc, man, this issue, this was cheese. I just started picking up Green Lantern again. I get the B cover with them all holding 4 fingers up. Now you understand why. Like the old WCW 4 Horsemen. Well, now you know why, Jesse. Oh, Justin. There's so many J's in here right now. There's 2 J's. So, Justin, it's I'm not hating this. I am enjoying the story. It was just when I was explaining it, I was talking with Brad about it, and we kind of both agreed that it was kind of cheesy, but at the same time, it's Green Lanterns. It's the only Green Lantern book I'm reading right now because I did not enjoy Green Lanterns. So I am enjoying it. I'm not going to lie. It was fun, but it was cheese. It was cheese. It was very cheese. Detective Comics 971. Well, it looks like Gotham doesn't want Batman anymore in the detective series because, man, all of Gotham's turning against Batman. We find out that the first victim is going to use Arkham against Batman. Clayface is being imprisoned and turned evil possibly again. And now the mayor gets involved and he's like, you know what, Batman? No, your strike team is going to be disbanded. But cheesy fun, exactly, Justin, for Green Lantern. But first, you're going to help us stop the first victim unit. And I hate the mayor. I really don't like him at all. But Batman's there, and we find out there's this big twist at the end, and Clayface is possibly evil again. So we're fundamentally seeing the end of Batman's task force team. because I was looking at the solicits for March, and it fundamentally looks like the task force is breaking apart. Cheesy, like the color of the Signal's costume. Jesse, exactly. It's that color cheese. Exactly. I like that. That was funny. It's that yellow. But I'm enjoying Detective. I'm liking how Detective started with them building the team up, and now we're seeing the team fundamentally break apart. And Clayface being the first one to kind of break. And I guess he might not be saved this time, possibly. Who knows? But the world is against Batman, and it's I hate the mayor. And if that's what the writer wants me to feel, if that's what Tom King wants, I think it's Tom King, right? No. Tyone, the Tinian wants me to feel, I feel it. I feel it. That's right. Tom King does Batman. I'm feeling it with the mayor, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where Detective is going to go next. I'm happy Tim Drake is trying to keep the team back. Yeah, he is. Tim Drake is really. I like how they're doing Tim Drake now. Finally.
All right, Justice League of America issue number 21. A new villain is introduced in Justice League of America that is actually going after the Ray. And the new villain we get, it goes by the name of Aztec. Now, Aztec has like a long history against Ray with everything and with all the attacks and whatnot. I like the artwork, though. We get a little bit of a heart-to-heart with Frost and Ryan, because they like really like for each other and everything. And then we get like lots of other dialogue stuff where Ray and Aztec are now working together a little bit because they were fighting with each other. And then they have a talk about how she couldn't have found compassion, but Ray did. So it was probably all the stuff that she went through and all that. And it looks like that Killer Frost is now cured based on what they found. For her powers and abilities. So I don't know how long that's gonna last, but
it obviously won't last long.
I know it won't last long. That's the sad part. Now you read this. Normally I read it, so that's all you.
Super Sons of Tomorrow, Teen Titans issue number 15. I like it because now Tim Drake Batman is taking on a new identity. Oh wait, first we're still in the comments again. He takes on the identity now, not of Batman, but the Savior. So could Tim Drake Batman, the evil Tim Drake, actually be staying in the DC universe? I don't know. Usually when they create a new name for a character. And I like how it's a mix of the Red Robin suit from the pre-New 52 with the mask and everything, and still, I don't know. I feel a mix of Red Robin and Batman and Red Hood when I look at this. But one thing I don't like that this book confirms, and it worries me because I don't want this back in the Superman realm, is that Damian brings up the solar flare. Remember the solar flare where Superman can shoot out a solar flare and it takes away his powers for X amount of time? Well, he brings it up to John. Now, here's the deal. I don't know if John's powerless at this moment. I don't know if they confirmed it. Maybe it was said somewhere and I missed it. But John used the solar flare. And he might still have his powers because he's still a mix of human and Kryptonian. But the fact that they brought up the solar flare again bothers me because that was the one thing I wanted erased from the New 52. I did not like the solar flare. I didn't like that power. It didn't even sound like a power that Superman could have. I mean, they tried to explain it nice, but it was dumb. And the New 52 Superman enjoyed it way too much when he was human. I don't know how this Superman, like, this is our Superman again. I don't like it. I would rather we forget that solar flare happened at all. And you know what I mean? Move away from it. But anyway, we get to see Bart, Connor, and Cassie, and I don't know if I'll be able to say these three names again for a while until we get towards the end of 2018, but they're trying to find their Tim, and Tim is trying to convince the other Teen Titans that he tricks them. He tells them he's not going to kill John anymore. He just wants to confine him so that millions of people don't die. Some of the Titans agree with him. Some of the Titans don't. So in the end, the Titans that are left behind are using Aqualad, because as you can see, these are the 3 Titans left behind, to track down Robin and John. And Robin wants time. Damian wants time to help John because he admits here that they're friends. So I like it. I'm interested in seeing where this goes. I believe we're going to do Superman one more issue. I believe it's in Superman that it's continued. I believe Sons of Tomorrow is going to end in this week's Superman. Tevia, you'll have to confirm it. The Solar Flare is a and you said, oh wait, it is a Dragon Ball Z move.
Yeah, where they go like this and then.
Now normally I leave this book for last, but we have a big event book that's done right. Marvel, pay attention when I get to my next book. But before we get into that, Action Comics 994. I enjoyed this. I really did. So Superman, in traveling back in time, Booster explains him traveling back in time changed the time stream. And because of what Dr. Manhattan did, dragging Jor-El off of the main Krypton, off of the main universe's Krypton, and Skeet explains it caused a ripple in time. And now there are alternate realities being created, this one being one of them. And in this reality, Krypton does not explode. Jor-El and Zod are friends. And I love the artwork in this book, by the way. I really enjoy the artwork in this book a lot. And Clark ends up growing up on Krypton. And when him and Booster leave, because Booster has to literally drag him. I love how the one thing I didn't like that Jurgens wrote Superman, and I mean, maybe in this situation, I would be the same way. Superman didn't want to leave until he knew more, till he knew if Oz was really Jor-El. But one thing I loved was, as they're leaving this time, Superman actually sees a possible future where if he stayed on Krypton, he'd have a wife, he'd have 2 kids. Ironically, they'd both be girls. And then, of course, that whole possible future is destroyed, and they end up flying into the 25th century, being chased by an Eradicator because Zod and the Eradicators were fighting Superman and Booster throughout the issue. I liked it. And then, of course, Lois is trying to find out more information about her father, who's to be executed. And John is with her. And there are 2 stories going on. Superman now traveling through time. First it was on Krypton. Now it's him traveling through time to get back home. And Lois trying to save her father. And this entire arc is ending in issue 1000. So for the next, 6 issues, it's going to be all this. And I'm really, and it sounds like it's a long story, but it's really not. 6 issues is only going to be through till April. Because I believe $9.99 is the only book coming out in March. And then April is the big 1000. And I got to tell you guys, because we're not getting so many comics anymore, I might go a little bit variant cover crazy. Only with the covers that are not ridiculously priced. I'm talking variant covers that are anywhere from $5 and below. Unless there's only one comic that's $10. Then I might cape for one book that's $10. But everything else has to be $5 and below. But I'm definitely going to be getting a lot of the covers. I need to know what they're going to look like, though, because DCBS does not show the covers. So I might have to Midtown it. I'm not sure yet. I love the story. It's awesome. I agree. And issue 1000. I already actually got the trade paperback that's going to be coming out celebrating 85 years of Action Comics. For those of you that don't know, it is coming out. It's going to be a big, thick book. Check it out. And, of course, the last book that we have to talk about is Doomsday Clock. The Rorschach, the new Rorschach, Ozymandias, the mannequins end up leaving. We find out that they're still in their world, and they have to escape before the nukes hit. And we get a backstory on the mannequin and his wife meeting Dr. Manhattan. I love how in this book, Dr. Manhattan's no longer naked. Apparently, Dr. Manhattan has underwear now. But in the end, he met with them, so they use Ozymandias is using them as a trigger to bring John back, and they find where John is, and Dr. Manhattan is, and right before the nuke hits, they end up trying to travel into that universe. Ironically, it's the DC universe, and we jump into Batman now. We had Superman last issue, we're having Batman this issue, and just like in Detective, we're finding out that the world doesn't want Batman anymore. That Gotham really thinks that Batman is more of a sickness than a help to Gotham. and then Ozymandias and the other, and Rorschach and the others show up in DC. I love how Rorschach and Ozymandias are talking, and they're like, oh, there are characters here that in our world were thought to be fictional characters. And he thinks that John, Dr. Manhattan, might be one of these characters. And that makes me nervous for John Kent, because what if Dr. Manhattan actually is trying to pretend to be Superman's son? Because even Ozymandias says he wants to be, that Dr. Manhattan wants to be a superhero. He wants to be able to save a universe. That's what makes me wonder, is Dr. Manhattan somebody in all this? Is there going to be like this big like bang moment where... But anyway, Ozymandias does some research and finds out there are two of the world's smartest people in the world that they need to go to for help to find John. One being Bruce Wayne and one being Lex Luthor. Rorschach goes to Bruce, who he finds out is Batman, and Ozymandias goes to Lex Luthor and tries to explain to Lex Luthor what happened to his world. And Lex is like, well, if you're the world's smartest in your universe, then I'd hate to see the dumbest. And I love how the last page, I really don't want to spoil till we get into issue 3, but let's just say that Ozymandias is in a very precarious situation because ghosts from the past end up showing up. Rorschach, I will say this, comes face to face with Batman, and the mannequin and his wife might not be as captive as Ozymandias thought. They might not be where Ozymandias had left them when he comes back. I'm enjoying... I think that, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think Doomsday Clock is what Rebirth was leading up to, and that's why we're not seeing Rebirth anymore, why DC is now DC Universe. I feel like, if you guys recognize, when Doomsday Clock started, DC Universe started. I feel like Rebirth was leading up to Doomsday Clock, and now we have DC Universe, but then when Doomsday Clock ends, which is 12 issues, 12 months, think about it, everybody, 12 months, this is not going to end until October. And when did DC say a major thing was going to happen? In October. So I feel like however Doomsday Clock ends is what's going to affect the DC Universe come 2019. They might even leave the DC Universe alone. They really might. But I feel like we got to get the Young Justice heroes back. I feel like there's still stuff that needs to be fixed first. So there might be minor events, kind of like Superman Rebirth, where they'll find Connor, because Connor is being mentioned in Super Sons. He's in it. His dark half is in it. Cassie's in it. Bart's in it. I feel like we're going to get the characters we lost back, but then after that, whatever the DC Universe is how it's going to possibly stay. I don't know if they might go back to a more classic feel after Doomsday Clock, like when John's influence is either erased or undone and John leaves. But I'm interested in seeing what happens next. I don't know how I feel about the new Rorschach yet. And at the same time, I feel like he's being brainwashed by Ozymandias to believe he's Rorschach, and he's really not. Because when he was unconscious and came back, he went to try to kill Ozymandias, saying that what you did to me, I'm going to kill you. So I have a feeling that he's being brainwashed to believe he's Rorschach, but he's really not. That Rorschach is dead, and Ozymandias felt guilty about it and tried to make somebody else believe they were Rorschach and give them all of his memories and his personality to have a Rorschach to help him. But it's not, obviously it's not the real Rorschach, but it's going to be interesting to see if this guy turns on him. I do like seeing books that don't have these big Rebirth. Yeah, I am glad the Rebirth logos are gone. It did take up a lot of the screen. And I also do like that they went the classic little box in the corner. I like this. This is how books should be done. And looking at the book on my wall that's Action Comics compared to this, it's nice to have Action Comics all the way back at the tip top of the book, the little corner thing, like the way they used to have it, and the book just looks great. Now, if we could only take this little scan bar and put it in the back of the book the way comics used to do. I don't know. Did they use it? No, they didn't. They had it. They had it in the bottom corner still. They actually made it smaller now. But it'd be even cooler if they put it in the back of the book so that we have more of the artwork to enjoy. But, I mean, they did it here. For Doomsday, I guess for big books they do it. For regular books they don't. But I'm loving Doomsday Clock. Doomsday Clock is the event be-all. So far, it's the be-all, need-all for 2018, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, we've got Metal concluding. We've got other events from Marvel coming, but Doomsday Clock, man. I'm excited. I'm really excited to see where Doomsday Clock is going. And this show went on for an hour and a half. So really quickly, a couple of updates. Since this is more than just a comic review show, now we're trying to interact. As you guys know, starting with episode 726, which we are going to push our butts to make sure it comes out on Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern or 9. More than likely 10. So, Jesse, more than likely 10, because I said 9 in the beginning, 10 o'clock, because I think 10 o'clock is a better hour for us. If you guys would prefer 9, feel free to comment below. Or if you're live now, 10, 9, doesn't matter. Let me know. Tell us now. If you're live with us now, 9 or 10, is it better for you on Monday nights? Let me know. For those of you watching post-live, let us know in the comments, 9 or 10. But we're going to go live with whatever amount of books we've read. So if we didn't finish, whatever we didn't finish, we'll mention it. We'll talk about it for a bit, but we're going to move on. So I am hell-bent on trying to keep this show on a consecutive Monday night, 10 o'clock basis. And you guys know that I would rather have an episode late. So that might happen either way. Either works. Awesome, Justin. Jesse, Tevya, anyone, Nerdivision, 9 or 10, let me know. If either is fine, that's perfect also. I know Tevya is probably going to say either works for him because he's here now. I really want to make sure that we get all I never miss an episode. I never skip an episode. So either it's going to be on Monday or it'll be late, but I'm going to try my hardest. There are 12 months in the year, 4 to 5 weeks in a month. I'm going to try to make there's 50, you know what? Even better. There's 52 weeks in a year. Out of the 52 episodes that we have in the new year, I'm going to aim to only be late on a handful, at most 10. There's 52 weeks. So 10 weeks is a lot, is a nice amount for a span of 12 months to be late. Because I know during the holidays they're going to be late. And you never know if something happens and things happen. Believe me, in this house things happen and they'll be late. But they'll always be live shows. I can promise you that. I'll always announce it the night before, so you guys know a night in advance, and I'll always try to make sure it's not when like a Media Madness is going on. Obviously, it can't be when a Frontline Live is going on, or any other live shows are, as far as the Frontline universe is concerned, are going on. There are live shows going on all the time. I wish I could pick a time where no one was live, but I always find out later on after my live show that somebody was live. I try my hardest not to go live when somebody goes live. I also know Comic Conversation, when that's live, I try not to go live on that at that time frame either, but sometimes I have no choice, but that's okay. You guys can always come back and check out the comic review later, even if it's an hour and a half long. I'm going to see if I can put it on SoundCloud, and I'm going to promote something in a moment, but I'm going to see if I can put these on SoundCloud, because if we're going to actually put the money down for a SoundCloud again, I could rip the audio off of this and have it as an audio podcast as well. So if you miss it here, starting February, we'll be on SoundCloud again. I'm still trying to get Mike to think about a podcast for himself, but at the moment he really isn't into podcasting. So if anybody would like to push suggestions,
my thing. I am sorry, I don't podcast. It's not what I do. Just respect that, like I respect what you do.
You don't.
Yes, I do. I'm in.
Which
that's me.
Oh, that you stop that! I thought my computer was doing that.
Well, I'm trying to, explain to you, but you just don't want to understand.
I understand. That's fine. And also, if you guys didn't notice, our background has changed a little bit. Mike, move out of the camera view. What we did here is now this is autograph. I'll do it. This normally is autograph wall, and it'll remain autograph wall. All these books up here and here are going to stay. But down below, I'm thinking, because the books down here, I don't know if any of you have noticed during our streams or during our videos, the books down here were getting ripped. Not ripped. Thank God the books are in perfect condition, but the plastics were getting pulled, and there was one plastic that was yanked on a bit and scratched and open. So to prevent the books from getting hurt, now those two books are safe because they're in that corner. In that corner, nobody really goes in. But to prevent losing any of our autographed books, we decided we were going to make this bottom row at least more of a figure row. So we might get a couple more figures to finish off the effect. But what we did was we ended up finding out that Marvel Legends released a retro line of figures. So I got Michael Punisher for Christmas, and Ellie got Michael Spider-Man for Christmas, and Michael got me Wolverine for Christmas. And then right before Christmas, The whole line went on sale for $10. So I ended up buying Iron Man and Captain America and Black Widow. I believe somebody bought for me and Michael for Christmas. So in total, Mike has Spider-Man, Punisher. We both have Black Widow. Iron Man, Captain America, and Wolverine are mine, and they are in their classic.
Also, don't forget the Spider-Man.
They're all in their classic costumes. So you got Punisher. I can't reach any further. You got Punisher in his classic costume. Black Widow in hers. Spider-Man is. This is the Spider-Man Marvel Legend that actually came with the pizza. Then you got Cap in his original costume. Like you can see the chain. You can see the chainmail on the chest if I go really close. So he has more of a classic feel. He's like the classic costume Cap. Then you got the first, I believe it's the second version of Iron Man. And then you got the brown costume Wolverine. And the reason why I had to get this Wolverine, I have it. It's on my Marvel Legends shelf. I don't know if you can see it really well. I have him sitting down at the top. He's at the top up there. You can see his legs. But the reason I had to get this one is because he comes with an interchangeable head. You actually get the classic Wolverine, and you could have the mask hanging behind his head. And so I like that.
And there's a Spider-Man in the middle.
Oh, yeah. And
we got for Halloween.
If you guys remember Halloween 2 years ago, we put these guys in the middle just so that it kind of it completed the figure effect, so we didn't have a blank spot. But I would love to get that new Marvel Legend 12-inch tall Wolverine. I'm hoping to anyway.
Yeah.
And then Nerdivision says, I'm going to get Doomsday Clock trade when it comes out. You'll love it. Nerdivision, you're going to love it when you get to read it. Either works or whatever. Oh, okay, both of you said either works. Spider-Man makes the best snow. Yes, he does. Spider-Man made the best snow engine. You missed it last night, Mike, man.
Yeah, Gundam styling too. I saw.
Oh, you saw?
I saw the video. Yeah, I was like saying, "What? That guy must be crazy. It must have been like 15 degrees out there." I'm like, "What the hell?" And then he just runs off.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Wow, my local comic shop sells it for like $25 each. Glad you guys got it for only 10. Well, and this is to be honest, Punisher cost me $25. Spider-Man cost Ellie $20. When these went on sale, and I think Michael paid $20 for Wolverine.
Yes.
The only ones that we got on sale were Iron Man, Captain America, and Black Widow. I think was only $9. So we only got 3 out of the whole wave on sale.
Are we missing one?
No, we have the full wave.
Oh, we do have the full.
We have the full wave. That's why I was glad we grabbed Wolverine, because now Wolverine is like hard to find online. So, also since I mentioned SoundCloud, like I said, February I'll be starting up. There's one more YouTube file episode for the Dark Avenger podcast, and that's this month's. And ironically, it'll be the 10th. So the 10th YouTube file episode will be the last. They're strictly for YouTube. They're staying on YouTube. They're only YouTube. I will be starting over again on SoundCloud, and we're going right to episode 1, even though it's really not episode 1. And I will state that in the first podcast that isn't really the first podcast back on SoundCloud. The reviews will be on there. I'll probably wait till episode 730 because I think there's 4 weeks in January, right?
Yeah.
So we're only one away from 30. So the second week of February is comic review. I'll cut the audio from that and make a podcast of that. So 7:30 onward, we will have the comic reviews on SoundCloud. Speaking of SoundCloud, JLS Comics, Jesse has Comic Conversation, which is on his channel, over on SoundCloud. I got that friend request today, Jesse. I don't know when you sent it, but I went on my SoundCloud account to see how everything is. I have to check my iTunes and Stitcher, but I went on there and I saw it. I accepted it, man, and I sent you one back. So Jesse's on SoundCloud already. We're next. And this time we're sticking around. We're not going to be cutting out like we had to last time, because this year we made the cuts where the cuts needed so we can get the things that are important, like the pad, SoundCloud. And there are other things. There are other things that we have in a need and want list on Amazon of things we need on top. And then when we're done with the need list, we'll get to the want list. But we're going to get to the want list. My goal is to get to the want list in June.
All right.
6 months in.
I'm waiting to see. I'm hoping.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and it all depends on how much we buy. So keep your fingers crossed, everybody. And as always, if you'd like to support the channel in any way, I know a lot of you have asked me. Many of you have asked me in the past, how can I support you? I have a Twitch channel. Feel free to subscribe. There's a donate button on both this channel and my Twitch channel. So if you feel you'd like to donate money in order to put in for the channel to help support the channel, feel free to. If you don't want to, you don't have to, because we are doing what we can at the speed and ability we can. Any donations would only help speed up the process of what we're already doing and will be appreciated and thanked live on wherever we're at. So you will be thanked regardless, because you're awesome for wanting to do that. But if you don't want to, no pressure and no worries. That's completely cool. We'll get it there. We'll get there. We'll get there together. You guys as the viewers and us as the providers of this content. And there's going to be a lot of fun stuff in 2018, not only from this channel, but Frontline. Frontline, we got he got his stuff on his channel. He wants to do a couple of videos on Rock 18. You got stuff that I don't know. You said it.
No, I'm shocked that you actually mentioned the bow. Okay.
And then you got What the Card. Nerdivision's enjoying it. We'll have some stuff on there. It's not going to be on schedule anymore. But when we find something, if we want to open it, we're going to buy it and we'll open it on What the Card. Frontline Gaming Zone. It's going to be a continuous thing because I am streaming on Twitch at night. Sometimes there's no schedule there either. So you got games, you got cards, you've got stuff on Frontline, you got stuff on here. Dark Avenger CA6 stuff that's going to be coming out from Mike. You got a lot of content. I hope you guys are subscribed all around because you're going to have, and then SoundCloud. You're going to have podcasts on SoundCloud. I hope you guys are ready for all the stuff that you guys are going to be enjoying. And the crazy thing is I'm talking about all this, but it's all stuff we've done. It's just now you got all this awesome content from not just Michael and I. You got Brett, Monday Musings. You've got Mike Spider Slayer, Comic Book Corner 2.0. You got Jay Comic Theater. He's doing stuff on Frontline. You guys are going to be excited for that. Cat has her Comic Uno show over on Comic Uno Plus. She has Like Father, Like Daughter. That's the book that's right over. I got to get my finger in the right spot, right over here. You got Celestial Falcon right over. Wow, I cut my own book off. Right over there, issue 2. We're working on it as we speak. You got a lot of stuff. There's 12 months in a year, and in these 12 months, there's going to be some nice, awesome stuff coming from all across the globe. And when I say all across the globe, all across the globe, I can talk creatively. And you got Dan with Argo 5. Had a successful Kickstarter. Argo 5's first trade paperback is available. I'm super excited to get that in the mail. And yes, I will be talking about that book when we get it physically. The first trade from Argo 5. He better be ready. He better be getting that second trade out soon. Dan, if you're watching this, I'm waiting for that second trade. We actually have some books from Argo 5. We'll be covering that Monday, we hope. If not, if we have to hold off on those books, we might do it next Monday, but we will be covering some Argo books. I don't know if they're Argo 5 or not, but there's a book out of Argo that we will be covering either this Monday or next Monday. Look forward to that. As always, guys, thank you so much for being here. Everyone who's with us live, Justin, Jesse, Tevya, Alan, who disappeared, or he's here, but Alan is like that silent viewer sometimes. I got to say that. Nerdivision, it's been a while. I hope that I start to see you more again in the comments. I really, really do. Sayaf, I don't know if I upset you by saying I don't really want to talk about games during this podcast, but if you're still here, thank you for popping by. Firestorm, if you're still here, thank you for popping by. You guys are awesome. Oh, dude, you're awesome. Thank you so much, Nerdivision. I appreciate that. You didn't have to, and I appreciate anything. Nerdivision said he just donated. I wish it was like Twitch where it would give you like that notification, but Nerdivision just donated $5. Thank you so much, Nerdivision. You are awesome, and this is going to be a crazy 2018. Welcome to the crazy jungle that will be 2018 or Dark Avenger CA6 or everything. This episode will also be on comicfrontline.com, your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole lot more. There's a whole lot more going on comicfrontline.com and the YouTube channel, but we're talking about the .com. Till then, guys, take care. Thank you all so much for being here. Post live. It's your turn now. You weren't here live, so feel free to leave a comment below about the books we talked about here. Likes, dislikes, agree, disagree, recommendations. Still open for recommendations, so feel free to recommend any book you'd like to see us read. Nerdivision, one more time, thank you so much for the $5. I really, really appreciate that, man. Great show. Take care, Nerdivision. Hope to see you soon. We will see you guys next Monday live at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Take care, everybody.
Hey, everyone.